Is it?
I got.
Yeah. So just for sort of our record's sake, you know, I've explained to you that I believe you're breaking the law. I believe you're breaking the law.
You're entitled to believe what you want.
Yeah. I believe you're breaking the law.
Okay.
In that you are breaking the 1974 Control of Pollution Act.
Okay.
Yeah. And you've explained to me that you're doing testing, but you didn't explain that first. You just...
Yeah, I'm under no obligation to explain what I'm doing. Speak to Shaw Brothers.
Yeah. Okay. So, so my feeling is, you know, so can I explain to you that the council have misrepresented...
Can we have a sit down?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So what I will say to that, okay, is that the Human Rights Act, okay, 1998, okay, allow me as a person, okay, the right to life, okay.
Yeah.
All right, and you breaking the 1974 Control of Pollution Act, which I believe potentially you were doing, okay.
That's your position.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So I'm going to tell you now, okay, that I've studied the history of this site, okay, and the Glynneath Council, all right, okay, are misrepresenting, okay, the history of the site. It's been a landfill site since 1937, okay, and when I bought my house, just on the edge of this area, okay, all right, I was there. It states, Glynneath Council stated there was no landfill site within 250 metres of my house, okay. So that gate is approximately 150, 200 metres from my house, all right, and so Glynneath Council and are misrepresenting, okay, the history of this site, right, okay. It is a landfill site. It has always been a landfill site, okay. I've done extensive research, okay, and see that house there, okay, the one on the left, okay. Now a guy saw in the middle of the night people bringing barrels onto the site, okay, barrels of potential toxic waste, all right, okay, which by the afternoon were gone, all right, okay. They were dropped here, and they weren't sort of they weren't there when he came back. He went to walk somebody's dog, and when he came back sort of mid-morning or whatever, or lunchtime, okay, these barrels were gone, okay. And you've got the relative tracks around the place that show those barrels have most probably been buried on this site, okay. And I've seen backfilling myself, all right, okay, digging holes and backfilling it, all right, okay. Why is he digging holes, dumping stuff and backfilling it, okay? You have to ask yourself that question. And as far as I'm concerned, all right, okay, this land, okay, is a toxic waste dump, all right. It's not, all right. It may be, you can build on it if you want, you know, but what I'm saying is every time the land is disturbed, okay, Heol-y disturbed it big time in 99, all right, okay, you get clusters of deaths, all right, okay. You've got clusters of cancer deaths over there, okay, in the early 2000s, all right. When Heol-y was dumping stuff big time, okay, in the mid 2010s, okay, between say around 2011, before that, and to about 2016, all right, okay, you've got a cluster of deaths in that row there, okay, that include neurodegenerative disorders, all right, and the council, and this information has been given to the council, all right, okay, who've covered it up, all right. It's not been.
I'm listening.
Yeah. Good man. All right, okay. So I believe I'm well within my right, okay, to come onto this site and to film you, okay, and to prevent you from potentially moving land about, okay. Because what happens is every time, okay, there's a what I call it. Every time there's a every time there's disturbance, a large disturbance.
Yeah.
You're right, okay. A large disturbance, okay, on the land, all right, okay. Then we get a cluster of deaths within the vicinity, all right, okay. So that is my stance, all right, okay. And I am here to protect not just myself, my family, okay, but the families living around here. All right. That house there, you see the one with the solar panels on? Yeah? Yeah? You nodded your head, didn't you? Yeah, good man, excellent. He's not playing with the cameras either, this man.
I'm playing this game if you're going to do that. If you're going to film it, if you want to tell me what you believe have gone on here, I'd be more than interested to hear your side of it.
All right, okay, all right. So that, the wife of the local councillor, all right, okay, died, okay. Now that councillor, all right, was on the planning committee, all right, okay, for the planning approval, all right, for what the plans that have been put in now, okay. This planning that is not the plan, yeah. So this planning approval, okay, the wife of that councillor, she died there, and I questioned him before that planning committee meeting, okay. I told him, I said, look, there are health problems in the area, okay, and he still, okay, stood on that planning committee, okay, without saying a word about the site and the stuff in it, you know, the stuff that's potentially in it, you know. So yeah, so that's what I am anyway. So yeah, I'd like to thank you for listening.
Yeah, please don't do that.
Why not?
Well, that's just unusual to be filmed or put into someone's film, just, you know.
What? Why? Why? You do not care about people's lives, or? Well, you know, you were just doing your job, right? Okay, so that is what, okay. So let me tell you.
Please don't film me.
Yeah, all right, okay. Sorry.
And please don't publish anything containing you, because it's private land.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But it's just, you know, I don't want to be put onto or into anything. I'm not interested in all that.
No, I know you're not interested. Okay. Yeah, you're doing your job. Yeah.
But if you want to turn that off and just explain and have a walk around and explain where you think things are,
I don't know where things are.
If you think there's something that we don't know.
I'm saying, I told you now. There's, okay, as far as I'm concerned, okay, in that spoil heap, okay, all right, there are potentially barrels of toxic waste, all right, okay. So that's what I'm telling you, okay? So whether or not, you know, if you test in the ground, okay, that might be well and good, all right, okay? But as far as I'm concerned, okay, the planning approval, all right, okay, was given, all right, okay, and the safety conditions were put in place, all right, okay? In the following March, okay, those safety conditions were taken away. Alright, okay. Even though the land is tested as contaminated, this area here. Very good.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Can I ask you what you're doing on the site, please?
Yes.
I'm two seconds. How did you enter the site?
I'm not. That is privileged information. Thank you.
No, it's not. This is a private land.
Yeah. Okay.
So you coming onto the site is a civil. You've breached civil law.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So you stopping lawful work means you're unlawful. Don't film me. I haven't given you the right to film me.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
You're on private land.
Yeah.
The gate is open. Can you please leave?
Right.
Otherwise, I will call the police.
Okay.
One for trespassing.
Yeah.
Secondly,
yes,
for these chaps, we're undertaking lawful activities.
Yes.
Are you a consultee?
Am I a consultee?
Yeah. So in the world of development,
yeah,
are you
okay.
a consultee?
I don't understand that.
So the person that we as a developer, we have to actually communicate.
Yeah. Okay.
So what we've done, we've communicated with the local councillor.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
We've also informed Neath Talbot that we were carrying these works out. We don't need planning approval because it's actually it's conditions. Therefore, we have to carry the work out. So you're not a consultee, so we don't have to do a letter drop.
No.
If we were carrying out works, that would.
But what right. Okay. So as far as
excuse me.
yeah. Okay. That's all right. Okay.
Be attacking.
So as far as I'm concerned, okay. All right. okay, I'm up here, okay, in my right, okay, to uphold the 1998 Human Rights Act, okay, which allows me the right to life, okay.
Right, okay.
All right, okay. So I'm going to tell you now, and I'm going to tell you, as this is recording, all right, okay.
You're not going to record me, because
No.
I will refuse to talk to you no more. I will not have a dialogue with you on that.
Oh, because are you frightened of something?
Pardon?
What are you frightened of?
I'm not frightened of anything.
Well, you sound like you're frightened of something.
I'm not
You're
frightened.
frightened of the truth. You were frightened of the truth.
What I'm going to do, right? I'm going to open the gate.
Yeah?
And I'm going to ask you to leave.
Okay.
And after that, if you refuse to leave,
Okay.
the next one will be the police.
All right.
Because
Okay.
you have committed.
So you're frightened of the truth then? You're frightened of the fact?
I'm not frightened of the
You're
truth.
right. Simon Knoyle. Let me tell you about Simon Knoyle, okay? Glynneath Residents Against Contamination Group.